Hello, welcome to another video. I'm trying to think about how to specify what I did today, and I can't quite come up with the words. But there are two things that have been ongoing today that I want to share with you. So the first one is I have downloaded an app. I don't have many games on my phone, but I've downloaded a game which is like Bubble Shooter. And I used to play that all the time when I was younger. And the app is just so addictive. And I'm playing it so much. It's just so satisfying to shoot a bubble and see it all pop. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. But I'm very aware that I go through my phases with games, so probably in a month I won't even be playing it anymore. It might not even be on my phone anymore. But the second thing is I wanted to continue with the book challenge, but there's only one book that suits the category. And I could start reading it, but in terms of an audiobook, I have to wait until like mid-September. And I'm not gonna wait till mid-September to read another book. So I've really struggled to find a book, especially an audiobook, because there's so few. And I found two, but they were both read in an Australian accent. And I literally I can't stand listening to the Australian accent for hours on end. So those were no-goes. And so I kept going onto my app, my library app, to see if there was anything that sort of inspired me. And I started a couple of books and just nothing was really working with me. And then I think this book just came up as recommended, and it was called Alice by Heart. And all I could think was, I am sure that on my Spotify recommended daily thing, I've had songs from a musical called Alice by Heart. So I opened up the book and it had a description that was definitely related to the musical. Now I haven't looked at that blurb again, but from what I remember, it said it was based off the musical, as opposed to the musical being based off the book, which I must have misinterpreted. I'll have to look at it again, but that just seems so unlikely. But anyway, I love Alice in Wonderland, and so I thought I'm gonna read it, or at least listen to it. And as always, listening to an audiobook is never as effective, and I think I'm about a third of the way in, and so far I'm really enjoying it. Now, I'm still not getting quite the whole overall storyline, because I am listening to it, so it's never gonna be as prominent in my mind. But even despite that, I'm really enjoying it. So I've spent a lot of today with that on in the background, shooting bubbles. Another thing, I just looked at my desk. I've mentioned before that the hairband that I wear in most of my videos is not mine, it's my sister's, and I'm not allowed to bring it with me to England, which I completely understand. And I asked her where she got it, and she said it was near this shop, and she went to that shop today. So I said to her, would you mind popping into the shop where you bought it, just to see if they have it? And she did! So what I've said is I'm gonna keep this one unworn, so that I can keep this thing on it so we can differentiate them. And she said I can keep wearing hers until I leave, but I am very glad to be able to have my own to bring with me to England. And one last random little thing. I've been working very, very hard on my scarf. I finished the third wool, and it could have been finished there, but my mum did say it might just be nicer to have it a bit longer. So I've popped on a fourth wool. I think I'm about a quarter of the way through it. And once I'm done with that wool, I'll just do the end bit and my scarf will be done. Which is crazy because it's taken me, maybe 2 months instead of 6 years. Or maybe even more, I don't know how long the last one took. And considering how quickly I'm going through it, I should be able to get it done before I leave, which would just be very nice. Because my mum also made the point that I probably won't be allowed to bring the knitting needles onto the plane because it might be perceived as a weapon, which makes sense. So I'd like to get it done. I got through my third ball of wool in maybe 24 hours, and it's now been about 24 hours since then, but I haven't done much knitting today at all, but I'll probably do some more tonight. But I'd like to think that in the next week or so I'll have it done. So that's a little update on my life, I guess. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!